God has made. God bless each and every one of you all. Thank you for joining us again here on Patrick Henderson's Meet the People, where information is power, but information is nothing if we do nothing with it. So we're thankful that you're joining us, and we're hoping that you will join us on our calls and on our subject matter. Please say good morning to the eminent, the brilliant, and the wonderful Mr. James C. Morant. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm doing well. It's good to be alive.
Well, it's good to have you back, too. James has been under the weather. I mean, really under the weather.
Yes, sir.
He has had pneumonia, and it's going around. It's somewhat of an epidemic here in the city, and he just thought he had a little cough, but it turned into more, and then it was not easy to get rid of, huh?
Nope. It's still here, but I'm still here, too.
But it ain't contagious, is it?
No, it is not. I'm not contagious.
Right.
I'm not contagious.
Okay.
I didn't think pneumonia was contagious, but have you ever taken a pneumonia shot?
I have. My doctor insisted.
No, I have not. Yeah. So
you need to.
So charge me with that one.
Okay.
But what I said, and continue to say, is pay attention to your body.
Yes.
I walked around for basically about 5 weeks with just a little clearing of the throat, and not realizing that one of my lungs was shutting down.
Wow.
Singing, I sang, I played, I did everything that I thought I was able to do, but the body was actually saying, you need to get checked.
Wow.
And so I'm just happy to be able to talk and not cough.
Yes.
I'm happy to be able to sing and not be worried about damaging the lungs
or your vocal cords
or my cords. They're already damaged enough.
Well, God knows they've been used in the service of the good Lord. So God, He's gonna bless you and keep you. You got your pep back in your step. Welcome back. We missed you tremendously.
Thank you. I missed you.
Is that I think is that Richard? Richard, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, how are you, sir?
Richard.
Well, I am in a very pensive mood today.
Ooh, Richard Terry, also our co-anchor. He's in a pensive mood, which is not a bit normal for him. But Richard, too, has been going through a little battle, been the sick and the shut in here and there. So we're happy to have you here and you're in your full strength today. So what you picking
What
about?
am I pensive about? The dominoes are beginning to fall. And if I heard a story earlier this morning, I now know where the money's going.
Where
the money's coming in for this campaign.
Okay.
And if it's beginning to line up the way I'm beginning to see it line up, we are headed for another bout of the status quo.
Of course.
And the status quo will continue.
Yes. Well, we're going to hold your holt right there, and we're going to introduce Doc Cheatham is joining us today. Hello, how are you, Doc?
Overworked, underpaid, but thank the Lord I woke up.
All right. Above ground is good.
Above ground is good. Welcome. He's not normally with us, so we're excited about having you. He's got some great news to tell us, so we're going to get to him. But before we do that, I want to say hello to our producer and our co-anchor. We just couldn't do what we do without him. In fact, if you want to look at us and join us and look at what God has done on this day by having us here and allowing us to wake up this morning clothed in our right minds, that's because of Jason and his brilliance at technology. Please say hello to my brother Jason Rodriguez. How are you, Jay?
Good morning, family. Peace and blessings. Just want to remind everyone we are now streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, as well as YouTube, and you'll get to look into everyone this morning in the studio, including Patrick Henderson in all of his glory this morning.
Man, God is so good. I took a picture yesterday, and I look younger to me, and I have a little problem with my weight, but I can deal with that. But I looked at that picture and I said, man, you are cancer free. You are cancer free. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. So right now, I want us to bow our heads. If you're not driving or something, I'd like for you to touch your radios, and we might touch and agree as we pray. Oh God, our Father, Lord, we bless you for another day to come together, oh Lord, and to just not only to sing your praise, oh God, but to not only glorify you, but to edify believers and those that are not even believers, oh God, but to glorify this people that you have created upon this earth, oh God. We come to you to tell you that we love you, even sometimes sometimes we forget you're there. We still love you, oh God. We might need to be reminded, but when we don't even want to hear it, oh God, you love us still. And we thank you for it, oh God. Thank you for your amazing grace, oh God, that is extended to all. Lord, we ask you right now, Lord, to bless us on this day, the city, oh God, all the people working at City Hall, every family, every baby, every child, oh God, every relative, oh God. Touch the people that come in and out of this city, oh God. Oh Lord, and bless their hearts and touch their mind and let them know that soon they're going to have to be paying a commuter tax to come in here on our streets. So in the name of Jesus, I'm praying. Yes, I love you, Lord, and I thank you for the vision to help our people, to lift us out of this quagmire, this status quo status that they keep us in by the people, some of them who are in power, who continue to repeat this abuse on the people and the citizens of this city. We rebuke them right now in the name of Jesus, oh God, and we ask you to show us a way and lead us and guide us to come together in unity, oh God. Let us be one, oh God. Straighten and make the crooked road straight, oh God, to our hearts, and let us know that the people united can never be defeated. We love you, Lord. Bless this show on today, all the callers, oh God. Let us be informational, oh God, but let us solve problems and not only talk about them. In thy Son Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen. All right, we're going to start off. Brother James, he said we should at least wait till Brother Cummings is in the grave before we start talking about his replacement. But you know, man, I see people die, boy. It's almost like, okay, done, next. And that's what we're dealing with. We're hearing people saying, well, who should fill his place? And this morning, and I concur, too, I believe it was Brother Larry Young, or some people on his station that contend that Kwaisi Mfume is the most qualified. He would come in with power because he left on good standing, so his status when he left would be given back to him, so he wouldn't be like somebody just beginning there. And I even heard that Brandon Scott was talking about, or his people were calling other people to see about the possibility, which I find incredulous, but you never know. We have a lot of opportunists here, and opportunists are not bad when they are helping the people. When it's for selfishness, it is, and I'm not implying that Brandon is. But here we are. Elijah Cummings was a great man. I remember when I first moved here, there were two people vying for that seat. And I believe one of them was Frank Reed, if I remember, because I remember him coming to Miss Hughes' office asking for her endorsement. And I won't let that stop there. But at any rate, Elijah Cummings ended up being, and he has done, I am impressed by the way the world looks at him, especially America looks at him as being a man of an eloquent speaker and a man who loved his country and who loved his people. So we're going to speak good of this man because he's done some great things. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this? Richard?
A man of integrity. Mm-hmm. And in politics these days, integrity is a virtue or a feature that is very rarely found.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I agree with you.
But even though there were some things that I disagreed with him on at times, his integrity stands out above all.
Yes, I agree with you. That's all we have to erase everything that John Wayne did on that campus. His picture. I think you're going to get with the idea that your name is besmirched, that you are this, and the people ultimately will.
Conversations are premature in my estimation. Mm-hmm. However, what I do believe is that he was a fighter. I wrote something on Facebook that talked about that. Mm-hmm. In Congress, as I was growing up, you didn't see a lot of folks that looked like me. Mm-hmm. And what I know about Elijah Cummings is that when he was in Congress, he understood some of the traditions, mm-hmm. some of the problems, some of the upbringing of the people that he represented. Mm-hmm. And to the extent that he took those things and put them toward legislation, that was really very positive. Mm-hmm. And so I look at legislators in terms of do they care about me, and do they demonstrate that in their public and private pronouncements? And what I know about him is that he did. Plus, I could see him in church.
He was a member of your church.
He was a member of my church, and he was the early bird. That 7:15 service, you have to really want to be in church at 7:15, and he wanted to be in church at 7:15. He always had, a certain area that he sat in, and if I'd be singing especially, it would be good to see that face. If I was doing lead vocals, it would be good to see that face, swaying back and forth to the music and really worshiping. So
I was surprised he wasn't a member of his mother's church, but he might have went there after he went to the 7:15 service. when we don't know what it was. Doc, I'd like to know your thoughts on this.
I would like to share with y'all a quote I think is somewhat appropriate. It's by my good Sigma brother, George Washington Carver. And the quote is, "It is not the style of clothes one wears, neither the kind of automobile one drives, nor the amount of money one has in a bank that counts. These mean nothing. It's simply service that measures success." Unquote. I would say, though I had my challenges, my disagreements periodically with Elijah, he was the epitome of being a public servant. I think he served us well, though there were issues. Even the Freddie Gray riots, I had him come to my neighborhood because I publicly challenged that he had not come through. But I think when you look at the years that he served, the things that he did, and I don't mind telling you, I shot him an email on whether or not he actually got it after he made that really inspiring message when he took over the committee and was discussing where they were going to go with this investigation of the president. I was just so proud of how he addressed it. I was just so proud. So, but I had to take a little issue. What I did for a living was I ran elections. As of the passing of Elijah, the time began running as to the selection of someone to take the place. That's not an option that we have. It is mandated by law that the governor has to do something, and that the days are already counting. So yes, you want to give him all the credence, to give the family time to deal with this, but the time has already started running as to the number of days left before the governor has to not only select the date, time, and place, but then an election has to be put together. So it's the time is already running.
So James, we understand your civilized, sort of sophisticated ties, but man, ain't no time, ain't waiting on nobody. And you ever notice that somebody died in the family, everybody's asking where's the insurance policies and where's the will? They can have just passed, and the first word out is where's the will? Where are the insurance policies? Well, sometimes it's because they have to bury them with those policies, but business does not stop because we pass on. Our hearts go out to his wife and he had children. I heard he had 3 children by his first wife, right?
I don't think he was married. I think it was relationships. That's what the newspapers say.
What? He was shacking? No, okay, I know. I just, I'm from the South. That's what we called it. We called it shacking up. But 3 children, but evidently, we won't.
I know it's at least 2. He has 2 daughters.
He has 2 daughters. Well, all right, we're going to keep moving here.
I wanted to chime in.
I'm sorry, Jay. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
So, one of the biggest bills I think that he's presented, we all disagree with, which was the appropriation of military equipment.
To the police departments.
But when I look at the legacy, and again, I didn't always agree with all of his policies, but when you think about, the White House and how Trump puts it, he was saying he wanted to go there to drain the swamp. So we know that the environment that Elijah Cummings was going into was a very hostile environment. And I think he played with the best. And I think that he put in the work just better in some cases than the best that could have gone into that office and held that seat. So that's I think he's left a huge shoe to fill, and anyone that comes in is not going to have the same authority or same chair position, and so we're going to lose something in the process of replacing him.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
I like the name of Kwesi, though.
Yeah, I think everybody does. He comes in with an experience. But now, Kwesi, do you think that he would continue? I've heard that he's not really interested. That he's enjoying his retirement, and he's really quiet. We don't hear much from him these days. Is he still a member of the board of directors at Morgan State? Do we know? He is.
Yes.
As far as I know, yes.
Yeah. Well, so maybe
I think Elijah, even though he's passed on, I think Elijah is a member of that board as well.
Wow.
Well, I know that he's lying in state at Morgan on Wednesday, so there's a long-standing relationship with the school.
Interesting. Now, he's going to lie in state, too, in the statuary hall.
Statuary hall of the Capitol.
But not the rotunda. Is that only reserved for presidents?
Now, that I'm not sure of.
Okay, somebody could find that out.
No, it's not. It's not only. It's only by request. My understanding is from the family, but it's not. It's not only reserved for presidents. And I do know this as well. Elijah was an honorary member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. There will be what's called an Omega service provided for him. That's the service that's done by the fraternity that would take place Wednesday on Morgan's campus.
Wow.
Certain more information will be coming out about
Wow,
that.
I've never seen them do a requiem. I can only imagine their dance moves. Will they be dancing?
No.
Oh, okay. Y'all know me. I'm sorry.
Service. It's basically Bible passage reading.
Okay.
And then different language that comes from the fraternity.
And singing, probably.
Yeah.
Right. So,
A little bit of singing, not much.
Okay. Jay?
He is going to lay at state.
We don't have that great quality of having great voices like you.
Well, I tell you what, y'all got some dance moves. Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say he's supposed to be laying at state at Sanctuary Hall and
Statuary.
I'm sorry, Statuary Hall, and as well as in the I believe he's going to be at DC as well.
DC.
I'm trying to see whether or not he's going to be in the Capitol itself or.
Yeah, well, that's where Statuary Hall is. Yeah.
Right. So he's going to be laying in state in Statuary Hall, and there's going to be a public viewing. On Wednesday at Morgan State.
At Morgan.
Oh, okay.
And that's from ends at 6. But then after that, they're going to have some kind of celebration, which I probably think is musical and some testimonials
At the church?
At Morgan.
Oh, at Morgan.
So
okay.
That starts at 6.
Well, I bet you Sheriff Hunt is going to be up on that bill, and she coming in to wreck the house. So y'all just know y'all want to hear. There's going to be some great stuff. But then they're having the funeral on Friday.
The funeral is on Friday. The wake begins at 8:00.
Yep.
And the funeral is at 10.
Correct.
That's a.m.
8 a.m. The choir is probably going to assemble at 7. And the sanctuary holds 4,000 people. So we expect it to be very crowded.
Will your pastor preach the eulogy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we know he's
I'm asking this, and maybe y'all will resonate my call. I think this is very educational for our youth to not only understand the life and service rendered by this individual. I really believe this is an opportunity where maybe the school system could use their ability to be able to video it and at some point show this to our children. This is a great American hero. Whether you agree or disagree with the politics, he is the ultimate public servant that gave his life to serving others. And I think having him here in Baltimore, but Elijah moved around quite often, and I think this is an excellent opportunity, and we need to challenge. I'm going to speak hopefully briefly tomorrow to the school board about another issue, but I'm going to say that to them. This is an opportunity to educate our children about someone that gave his life to service, and we should not only be recognizing him, but educating our children as a result of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Really profound.
That is what you just said. And y'all must remember, this is the sharecropper's son.
Right.
Now that's post enslavement. To come from being a share, y'all don't know what a sharecropper is. I'll tell y'all one day because my grandfather was a sharecropper, and I tell you it was not an easy life.
And who got knocked in his head when he was about 11 or 12 by trying to integrate a swimming pool in Baltimore.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And
on the governmenttrack.us website, they have like a report card of Elijah Cummings. When he was in the House of Delegates, he had he influenced co-sponsors most often compared to many Maryland delegations. He held the most committee positions. He wrote the second most laws compared to any other Maryland delegation.
Wow.
He has the second highest bipartisan co-sponsors out of any other Maryland delegate. He's gotten he has the sixth most highest bills out of committee compared to those in the House of Democrats.
Wow.
So
what a life, huh?
Yeah, he has some great accomplishments.
Well, you know what? This is just amazing, and I wanted to take this time because we should give honor to whom honor is due. Like we said, we didn't agree with everything he did, and to me the most egregious was that he overrode Obama and gave the police tanks and rocket launchers to go against our own people. I thought that was unbelievable. I called his office. They didn't deny it. But he and what's his name? What's the other?
Van Hollen?
Van Hollen voted for the same thing too. So while we could thinking about these people and we are coming up for elections, we must consider these things. But I tell you what, I'm gonna give him a pass, Congressman Cummings, because he did so many other things. I'll never understand why he would do that, but he did it.
I would say this: Elijah's voting record, of course, the NAACP on a national level does a annual report card according to each congressional term. And before Elijah's illness, Elijah normally had a 100% grade coming from the NAACP for the, I guess, 24 years that he served in Congress. And I would have to agree with you, Patrick. I think many of us were very disappointed with that one vote. But I think if you look at Elijah's overall record, he normally received a 100 report card grade from the NAACP.
I don't know of any legislator that you don't disagree with on some particular points. But overall,
if you don't disagree, then you maybe need to check ourselves.
Exactly. So as long as he is meeting some of the needs that I have, and he recognizes and understands my plight, then I am very supportive, and I think that's what he did.
And
Jay?
this thing in reference to him and misappropriating of money and stuff like that, you heard, I forget who it was that came on the show and said that if there was something going on being at the federal level, you'd definitely had a whistleblower, you had somebody come out, somebody would have said something, and I think that our community doesn't understand the responsibility of federal, state versus city. Elijah goes and gets the money from the U.S. government. That gets passed on to the state, and what the state does with it afterwards is totally out of Elijah Cummings'
And God only knows.
He is not the governor. He is not the mayor.
Right.
Correct.
And he said that as the last gathering. I ain't going to tell you what else
or
he
the
said.
comptroller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thomas, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. The lines are open, you all. 410-481-1010. We're going to give this about 10 more minutes. We're going to have to go for a break in a minute. But Thomas, do you have a question or comment? Welcome.
Yes. Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. How you guys doing?
We're good. Thank you.
My condolences goes out to his family, too. But now that the Kingmaker is dead, guys, we have to look at who's coming up behind him next, okay? Well, some say Bill Cole. His name has been thrown around quite a lot lately, okay?
Bill Cole's done an injustice to us. But go ahead.
Well, Elijah supported Bill Cole. So if one does an injustice to us, wouldn't the other one do an injustice to us also?
Well, we already mentioned the shortcomings of Mr. Cummings, so yes.
And does Bill Cole know what he want to run for? I mean, I thought he wanted to run for the comptroller's office.
Nah, Bill Cole wants to seek better than the comptroller's office, Jason.
So why is he running for that office?
Yeah, Bill Cole's things now, guys. I thought he was going to run for mayor of Baltimore City.
That's what I thought.
Okay, don't know if that's going to be possible now that Elijah is gone, because Elijah was a supporter of Bill Cole. Okay, Elijah was also a supporter of Brian Frost. We know that Brian Frost has been doing us wrong.
Right.
So, I mean, we can say a lot of great things about him. We can say a lot of bad things about him. But people who support people that mistreat us, guys, we can't put up with this anymore.
I agree.
Now's the time to stop this. Some people say his wife has aspirations of fulfilling his seat. Well, she's got her own problems that she's dealing with the feds investigating her now.
I've heard.
Okay, so we can't keep putting the same old people in office, regardless if we got their cell phone numbers, or regardless if the Doc, me and Doc get along good, regardless if they are frat brothers or not. If they do our people wrong,
yes, sir,
they have to be called out.
I agree with you.
If we don't call them out, Doc, you know and I know, they seem to say that bird of a feather flock together.
Yes. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Another name that's been thrown into
excellent points.
I do too.
A number of us,
yes,
including me, were very disappointed with Elijah's selection of Bill Cole, and I will always have a great disdain for what Brian Frost said as a candidate and what he did once he got in office with reference to the HBCU. So, brother made some excellent points.
Yes, he did. We're going to go to Carlos next on line.
Another name that's been thrown into the hat, too, is Marilyn Mosby, because from what I understand, Elijah Cummings has mentored her.
Well, that's good, but we need her to stay where she is right now, so I don't think she would move there. And everybody's talking about the need, considering the temperament of the Congress right now. You're going to need somebody in there that knows how to be embattled, and to the degree of...
You don't think she has the cojones after going after the police department?
Yeah, well, the cojones are good, but I'm telling you, I don't want to encourage her, because I want to see her tenure here continue, because she's doing some incredible things, and I think it's an important... So don't y'all encourage her. Don't nobody call and tell her, say, we need you to run.
The whole 1 second while we take this break.
All right. You're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Don't touch that dial. It's finna get hot up in here.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore. Brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear on 1010 WOLB
are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
It's done unto you as you believe. It's done unto you as you believe.
Ah, yes, done unto you as you believe. I believe in you, you believe in me, and I believe that we're going to make these dreams come reality. But like the gentleman said earlier, and I had an incident this morning up at the 7-Eleven, up at Mondawmin. I'm a cigarette smoker, and believe it or not, I spend over $200 a month on cigarettes.
Been trying to get you to stop.
Yeah, everybody trying to get me to stop. I'm trying to find out I'm an emotional smoker. But this guy, who has been there over 20 years, owns that store. And he has a sign up there. If you buy 2 packs, you get $2.76. And he told me, well, that offer is no longer there. So he was going to charge me more money. I said, you cannot have that sign up there and charge me a different price when I come to pay. It is against the law. Y'all be checking my Facebook page. I'm going to post it. This brother, man, he stood there and he knew he was wrong. But I put him on blast. Not only did I put him on blast, but he went over there and tore that sign down. We got to stop letting these people screw us, work over us, tell us that they peeing on our legs and telling us that it ain't raining, that it's raining. I said, well, it's time for it to stop. And so this is the same thing with our politicians here in this city. It's time for us to stand up and get a spine and let these people know it ain't working no more. I wrote on Facebook, I had my piece today, because Dr. King says, no man can ride your back unless it's bent. Today I straightened up, as the little children saying. We all need to straighten up and get on to what we're supposed to be doing and look out for us. Carlos, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People.
He's
Do you have a question or comment?
Yeah. Oh boy, you guys got it going on. Look. In remembrance of the great Elijah Cummings, I think we have to say that he was one of the greatest people that came out of the Maryland legislature and who served as a public servant for the state of Maryland, and he's a great example for our children. He of course, inspired me by his minute comment that I only have a minute.
Oh yeah.
60 seconds in it. A tiny little minute, but eternity is in it.
That was his opening salvo when he came onto the floor of the Congress when he was first elected. It is historic. You're absolutely right. Who wrote that? I forgot. He said.
He said he got it from Perrin Mitchell. As I remember.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he did say that. Okay.
But I will say this, that he, I think, was quintessential Baltimore. I don't think there are very, very many people that were more Baltimorean than him that I can think of. Now, as I say, I remember him in that light, but I will take issue with him historically on the fact that he always cited that he wanted to protect our democracy. And for many black people, democracy has not been what
democracy.
What we expect it to be,
and what the law says it should be.
Yeah, because John Henry Clark, the great historian, says that the European has never believed in democracy, and he never will, because if you believe in democracy, you wouldn't go around the world creating wars,
taking people's land and killing them.
People's land and so forth. And he does not believe in Christianity. But I will say this, that Elijah Cummings stood by that credo, and I think that they will consider him to be a great American for generations. Now, one last comment. He was one of the great political triumphants of Maryland that was in national politics. Now, you had Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, from Little Italy in Baltimore, Steny Hoyer from Southern Maryland, and Elijah Cummings from Baltimore. So his place will be, it will be hard to replace him. But I hope Nancy Pelosi will elect, not necessarily by seniority, but a pit bull who can stand in and advocate against what's going on in the White House and others, and can be a great speaker that people will understand.
I do too.
In the legacy of Cummings.
Let me know what I've got to say to you, because I had planned to say this. Her brother, who was once the mayor of Tommy, he died today. He was in his 90s? Yesterday. And let me tell you, I had no idea. He was the first one to bring black people into the administration in Baltimore. He brought in civil rights laws and stuff. And they say he was here doing so that must have been 71 to 71.
And he had to deal with the riot.
He had to deal with the riot, but he only did one term. And but that to me, that states the DNA that's in Nancy.
Yeah, but her father was also the mayor, D'Alessandro Sr. He was the mayor.
That's right. Call him a senior, call the young one junior.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's what I love about this show.
So I'm just saying,
and to give y'all this, Dr. Benjamin E. Mays is the one who coined the phrase, I've only just a minute, only 60 seconds.
Thank you.
Upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I lose it, only a minute. Benjamin E. Mays, but eternity is in it.
For us all to live by.
Yes, man, yes.
Dr. Benjamin E. Mays is the writer of that quote.
We're only here for a minute, and we're gone. Well, thank you for taking my call. And
thank you, Carlos. As usual, we appreciate you. We got, I believe that's Justine. Hello, Justine. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment, sweetheart?
Patrick.
Justin. Okay, how are you?
Penn North and Social Club,
Yeah, how you doing?
All right, how y'all doing?
We're blessed of the God.
Well, I had some fond remembers and relationship and networking with Elijah. First of all, I was a neighbor. I am a neighbor of a lady who helped raise him and stuff, and he used to ask me about her all the time. Lady's named Isabel McFadden. They call her Miss Bunch from South Baltimore. It was close-knit people down in South Baltimore, a bunch of people. But and my Elijah, like a lot of time I'd be talking to him or something, and then we'd be talking about different things. And he would say something wrong with that picture. That was the thing that he used to say all the time. Something wrong with that picture. And then also, I used to go out to Dan Brother there in South Ball Charles Street and get shoes and something. And he had a good working relationship with them, and all. But someone talk about Bill Cole. Bill Cole was one of Elijah's aides.
Oh.
William Bill Cole. He was on the payroll, Elijah.
So you think that's why there was such an allegiance between the two? You think that's why there was such an allegiance between them?
Yeah, well, he knows a lot about him because he worked with him. I think Bill Cole, now his position is Greater Baltimore Communities, either BDC, Baltimore Development Corporation, or whatever. So I think, but another thing, Elijah used to send me invitation to the Black Caucus social function at the end of the year.
That's not an easy invitation to get.
And that was very nice and everything. I got to meet a lot of other elected officials.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've been listening to you all the weekend and on the past week talking about you had a great relationship with him, and we really appreciate you calling and sharing it with us. 410-481-1010. We're going to go to go ahead, Jay. Hold on, Ernest.
Really quick, just to show you what type of person he was. First year in the House of Representatives, and he was already sponsoring bills like the HIV Prevention Act, Outreach Act of 1997, which required the Department of Health to look at distributing clean needles. I mean, the Social Security Family Protection Act, he was a sponsor on.
Looking out for the people.
This was within the first year. The first year he was in office. The Federal Employees Health Benefits Provider Integrity Amendment, which went after bad healthcare providers that were supplying federal employees.
So he was a
benefits.
Great man. Wow, this is just amazing. Thank you so much for that information.
Well, the other thing I think should be said is that he was a fighter, and he didn't apologize for representing his people. And we have so many people now that want to make white folks comfortable, and he called it as he saw it, and I really appreciated that.
I appreciate it too.
He was fearless.
Ernest, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, you have a question or comment? Welcome.
Yes. Elijah Cummings' legacy is the Elijah Cummings Youth Program in Israel. It was a 20-year. He sent over 200 black children to Israel, and they could apply for it in the 10th grade. And what they learned was leadership development program, learn effective communication techniques, tolerance for others, receive career guidance, tour Israel and visit the holy places, and visit a briefing on the Middle East, and study about the Holocaust.
Of course.
That was his legacy.
That was his legacy. Tell me this though. I heard him speak at the synagogue a few weeks ago, and I noticed after the meeting that there were a lot of the Jewish guys came into the restroom and said, "Wow, he don't look good. I don't think he's going to last very long." And I thought he looked very, very ill. Who knew that he was in a hospice? Did you know he was in a hospice, Ernest?
No.
Yeah, none of us knew, so they kept it under.
I did.
You did? Who was that? Doc?
Yes,
you
Doc.
knew?
Yeah.
And they said that it was a hospice that's owned by John Hopkins. Do you know if that to be true?
That is correct.
That is true. Well, they really kept it under the banner, but he said something there that startled me a bit at that last speaking engagement at the Jewish synagogue. He said people want to know why he's not sending young people to Africa. And he said, "Give me some of that African money and I will." I was a bit taken aback by that.
Well, he was supported by Baltimore Jewish Council.
Oh, okay.
The Associated.
Okay.
Hofberger. And he was getting Jewish money.
Okay.
He was exactly right.
Well, I wonder why we don't ever put it. Yeah, go ahead.
They put flyers up in the black churches in the 7th district. I'm sure Doc Cheatham. Did you ever see these flyers, Doc Cheatham?
I can't hear him. Cause somebody
Did you ever see the flyers for Elijah Cummings?
To send black kids to Israel? Did you ever see flyers for that, Doc?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I attended one of the events at what was the convention center that Elijah had. I don't know how many times he had the event there, but that's when I first got a knowledge of the event and got an opportunity to meet the different people that were sponsoring it.
Okay, it was a good thing. It exposed the kids to another culture. It really did. So I just wish somebody would have come up with one to send the kids to Africa. But it is what it was. So we're thankful for that. Thank you, Ernest, for your input there. We're going to go to Uncle Fred. Hey, Uncle Fred, how you doing?
Hey, pretty fast for a square.
I've been hearing you this morning, boy. You was hot this morning on the LY show. But what are you coming with today? You have a question or comment, sir?
No, I just wanted to comment about my man Elijah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a soldier.
Yeah.
He was a soldier. It's all about his replacement. I hate to talk about his replacement until they put him in the ground.
Yeah.
But, our community, we've done this so many times. We say, the Jewish people did this for us. Ben Cardin appointed me to this position when he was such and such, and this, that, and other thing. Or Thomas Alexander did this, did that, other thing. You know what the Italian population is in Baltimore City?
The number? What is it?
Oh, man, it's so low they don't even count it.
Wow.
Okay? So, and the same with the Jewish population. There's only about 90,000 Jews. It's about 3% of the population of the state of Maryland is Jewish.
Okay.
But yet we have a United States Senator that's Jewish.
That's because they vote.
No, that's because they vote. They cannot vote us.
Well, but if we don't vote, they can. But they can if we vote. You're right. But
if we don't support them politically, financially,
they can't get there.
There you go. If we don't support them politically, they don't win. That's just the bottom line. See, we don't want to address that. It's like this election coming up right now. You have 450,000 black people live in Baltimore City, and they tell us that we can't pick the mayor.
All we got to do is vote, dude. We keep missing that point.
You say vote, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more votes can we put out than we put out in the primary election of 2016?
Well, you know what? You going back to that, and I've been waiting for. I know, but no, we're not going there right now. But I got a question for you because I've been waiting. I was hoping you were going to call today. Do you think that Sheila Dixon, do you think that Sheila Dixon might decide that, from what I hear, she doesn't have the money to run for mayor? Do you think she might decide to run for president of the city council to put her back in office and to really maybe have to clean away the stains of her improprieties in her earlier tenure? Do you think that she might be able to run for president? I've talked to several people that thought that was a great idea because it wouldn't be mayoral, but it would put her back in a position of strength and power, and she could rebuild her credibility, sir?
Let me say this. This election is not about Sheila Dixon.
Of course it isn't. That wasn't my question.
Given her for whatever she's done. 51,716 people wrote her name in November. You think those 51,000 people didn't vote in April? And be realistic. They stole the election from her in 2016. We talk about Trump and collusion and this. But look what happened right here in Baltimore. The home of the NAACP headquarters.
I know, but Fred, answer my question. We got a bunch of other callers. Do you think that she would consider running for president of the city council?
She did not consider running for. What about the 51,000 people who voted for her?
Maybe they can get involved. Maybe that 51,000 could make her president of the city council. That would be because a lot of white people ain't gonna vote for her because of the scandal. But if she could get back in there,
we still outvoted them. See, that's the part you don't understand.
I do understand, Fred. I do understand. You must remember, I live in 21215. They changed the voting places over in my community and didn't even tell the folks they had to even change it. So I know what you're saying is the truth.
Respect they have for the black community.
Well,
21215 and part of the district you live in is Ashburton. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, part of it. But so is Park Heights.
So, as I said, that's the kind of respect they have for the black community.
They didn't change them in Ashburton. They changed them in Park Heights.
I know where they changed them.
Yeah, okay.
They have no respect for the black community.
I agree.
And the only way you're going to get their respect is, as I said, the last election, people talk about money, this, that, everything. She doesn't have any money. How much money do you think she put out to get 51,000 people to vote?
Do you think, that's what I'm saying, that's why I think she should run for president, but I'm not going to keep arguing that point. You never answered me. You said she wouldn't. He said she would. He didn't think she would do it, right? That's okay.
I'm laughing because we just had a phone call and just said every week with this guy, every week.
Talking about
the same 51,000 voters.
Well, at least he's consistent. Aaron, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the Paul call. We got 2 more calls on this, and then we're going to move on to our other subjects. Aaron, you have a question or comment? Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People.
Hey, how you doing? Am I on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Listen, man, some people say Elijah Cummings was a great guy and a great politician. My question is, how many black millionaires did he make other than Walter Thomas?
Walter Thomas, the pastor?
And why haven't he taken black children to Africa? Because nobody put up the money for those children to go. So
that's what he said.
Okay, cool. And if the Jewish people put up money to take black children to Israel, which is really, if you really did your history and study, ain't nothing holy about Israel, brother.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Amen. You get no argument out of me.
That reinforces what those people are doing to people of color in Israel. Those fake categories that are not really historically, they're a bunch of fakes, and you take your children over there to reinforce psychologically that it's okay to suppress people. That's what Elijah Cummings did. So he's no hero. Thank you for taking my call.
Wow. All right. Call it like you see it, my brother. This is America. You have a right to your opinion. And I have to tell you that I am somewhat really disappointed in the land of that Jesus is supposed to be coming back to. They're sterilizing the Sudanese women, putting them in work camps. The Africans in have work camps over there. They're denying the Palestinians a homeland. I don't know. We got to pray for Israel. We really do. Welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment, sir?
How you brothers doing?
We're blessed of the good God. How you doing?
Yeah, Israel is in Africa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but is anyone running against Donald Trump, Republican-wise?
Yeah, two or three people.
William Weld. Joe Walsh.
And
Mark Sanders.
Mark Sanford out of the one that was the Appalachian Trail, who couldn't figure out where he was. It was Dave had his girlfriend. He was in Argentina. He was supposed to be on the Appalachian Trail, and they re-elected him to office down there. So yes, sir.
So the Republicans? Are they Republicans?
Yes, sir.
All of them.
Okay. Yeah, and Sheila Dixon, Baltimore don't need no more dick, son. Have a go.
Well. All right, my brother, man, you made your point. Leo Burrows, I just tried to call you. How you doing, Leo?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Leo.
Very good. How are you?
I just hope, my hope and prayer is that we will not replace Elijah Cummings with an odds-on favorite. I hear people, it's like a horse race. Do they have the money? Do they have a commitment to our people? And I'm not saying money isn't important. Yes, it is. But do they have a commitment? Do they have a track record of service to our communities, to the poor and the middle class? And if the folks don't have a track record, the fact that they're popular and have money will put us back where we've been before, with people elected to office who stay 30 years and don't serve our needs. And I would like to see consideration given to persons who've never held elective office before, or some of whom who've held elective office who we have adjudged to be sincere. Belinda Conaway, Marvin Doc Cheatham, Arlene Fisher, longtime member of the Democratic Central Committee, former Congresswoman Donna Edwards. We can go on with people who are outstandingly qualified, who want to change government to make government more responsive to the needs of people. And, of course, we don't have term limits. As you know, for many offices, only for the governors and the President of the United States, we ought to have term limits. But the fact that the majority of people in this country who are registered to vote don't vote is an indictment, and it attests to the fact that folks don't believe that our political system is relevant. And it is relevant in my eyes, but they don't believe it because we've had so many fictitious leaders who've just garnered wealth and power and influence, but they don't care.
About the people.
They haven't been grassrootsy enough. So,
Brother Leo,
yes.
Does it necessarily make sense, though, to have term limits in a governmental agency that has powerful chairs like the Oversight Committee? And
yes, I think it does. That's my go here.
Then you would be switching out every so often.
Yeah, every 8 years. I think should be term limits on the Supreme Court too.
I might give them 12 to 15 years as term limits. I'm just saying, 12, maybe 15 years, but that's about it. I mean, we just go on and on with these same people who believe that they are divinely qualified. They stay. They don't groom other people to take over, and they die in office. And a whole lot of folks, including Mike Miller, the president of the state senate here in Annapolis, who's opposed to the HBCUs. He's a Democrat. Not just the governor. Democrats are opposed to HBCUs. We got all these folks who they named the office building after him, the Senate office building, because he's divine. We need to stop worshiping politicians and hold them accountable.
Well, I agree with you, Leo. You have an event coming up. Is it this coming weekend?
Yes, on Friday night, November 1st. Friday night, November the 1st, 2 weeks, is our 13th annual crab feast. It is a fundraiser. And we want folks to come, whether you eat crabs or not. We've got a lot of other food. We've got a wonderful DJ. We're going to be at the Tiffany East Caterers in East Baltimore, 4116 East Lombard at Haven Street. The ticket is $65 per person, and it sustains the life of the Roots of Scouting organization, which is meeting tonight, by the way, at the Church of St. Cecilia at 7 o'clock tonight. We'd like folks to come out to our regular community meeting. So if you have an interest, give me a call at 443-651-2578, 443-651-2578. Come one, come all. We need mentors for our youth, and we need to close ranks behind surviving in this cesspool of American non-democracy. Yes. That's what it happens to be. Yeah. We better stick together or we're not going to make it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Leo, thank you so much.
Patrick, can you hold Leo for a second?
Sure.
There was a comment that he made that again, so folks look at it two different ways. He said die in office, and then some people say die in service.
Well,
you know what I mean? Which can be, interpreted differently.
It's semantics, isn't it?
Somebody says die in service.
But I want there to be term limits because the system is broken. The system is not working on the city, state, or federal level
for the people.
That's for the average voter.
Yes, that's
the majority of the people who are registered to vote. Are not participating in the process
because they're of apathy, because they've seen the same thing over and over.
Now, if the system was working the way that it was supposed to, again, every 4 years, the people should be removing that person out that's not qualified to serve the people.
That's the argument to make, but I understand what Leo is saying, because that once they're in there that long, then there's corruption. They get seniority. They get seniority, but not only that, absolute power does what? Absolutely corrupts.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, what we have here too many times is once they get in there, too many individuals will vote for that incumbent just
because they know
name recognition.
Yes. All right, thank you, Leo, so much.
God bless all of you, and let's stay on that battlefield.
We will do it.
Right, Leo.
Richard,
care,
let me see here. Hold on, let me get Tyrone, and we're going to switch subjects here. Tyrone, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. You have a question or comment, sir?
Yeah, Brother Leo just stole my thunder. He is absolutely 130% correct. We need people that are going to fight for our community, that's going to stand up for getting effective action done in regards to jobs opportunities, and et cetera. We don't need people that are celebrities or name recognition. And and you guys are right. When people start recognizing these names, people are afraid of change psychologically. They're scared to vote for somebody that they don't know. And they will sometimes vote for people because they know who they are as a known quantity. Even if it's a bad known quantity, they know it's a known quantity. So we need to get people, and I believe in term limits as well. I mean, you go in there, 8 years is enough, because you need to be good, you need to be brief, and be gone.
And be gone.
If you come in there wanting to save the world, you need to stay that way when you leave.
You know what? I got a question for you. How is it coming with the dollar housing thing? Or how are you faring there? I listened to your show. I didn't get to hear you this morning, but I try to always listen to you. How is that coming?
Well, therein lies the problem. You get people in there, they get comfortable in office, and they're going to look out for people like developers and things of that nature. They're not really thinking about the concerns of the people. That program is an economic development program for the black community. Okay, I'm not getting paid to do this stuff, but I know it will generate jobs. I know it will work.
It will, because you got training in there for the kids.
For the kids, exactly, which deals with a lot of the crime.
Right.
There's a crime reduction plan, there's a jobs and opportunity and training plan, and there's a home ownership plan. It strengthens the black community because you create generational wealth, and you're giving kids training in something that will earn them a living wage, so they don't have to turn to things like drug dealing, which leads to violence and crime in the first place.
Absolutely. So, but I think one of the biggest assets of what you're doing is American wealth is built on one thing: real estate. When we realize that, so these kids get in there and start working on their real estate, they can buy one of these houses for $1, then they start buying another one. Or families get in, they can accrue wealth and have a residual income that they never have to work another day of their life.
You're right, Patrick, absolutely right. As a predatory lending crisis, now the majority of Baltimore homeowners, the majority of blacks in the city are renters now.
Yeah.
The majority of people in the city, period, are renters.
Wow.
And renters don't lend to safe communities, and I don't not say anything bad about all renters or generalizing, but generally the safest neighborhoods are neighborhoods with homeowners so they're stake in the community. They have stake in the community.
Thanks, Ty. Thank you, Tyrone.
I have to go back to this term limit thing. I'm sorry. So again, there's a misconception here. There is a term limit. It's up to the people to exercise
at the end
that
of each term, right?
Right. So even if you had term limits, well, let's say we had something on the books every 8 years you had to leave office. I would tell you that the power structure to be those like the Bill Pakarakis that's supporting a certain candidate right now, Padarakis that's getting ready to fund a certain candidate right now for mayor. They're going to find another candidate within that 8 years and support that person and put the same rule back in
groom them. I agree with you, Jay. But
so unless we exercise our power and authority that we already have the ability to give a report card and say you're not doing well, so we are expelling you.
You know
from
what?
office.
You know, Jay, I'm gonna bless you for what you just said, because that's leading me into my next comment. Mo, hold on for a moment. I heard on Larry's show this morning, it was a debate between Coach and Larry, and they were talking about the difference between people in Washington, D.C. and people in Baltimore. In Washington, Coach says that people, no matter what status they are in life, will put on a white shirt and a tie and go meet and hang out with the people that's got something going on so that they can see what the opportunities are there for them. But he said here in Baltimore, people won't come because all of them sedity N-words. They act like they better than everybody else. So we don't mix and mingle the way that they do in D.C. Do y'all find that to be true?
Yes, and it's to our detriment in some ways.
Yes, it is.
Well, since I worked in D.C. for 39 years or so, that is true.
It is true.
There were certain meeting places, and you had to be seen or you had to be in the company of folks, and that helped you.
It helped you. All right, Mo, hold on. We're just going to have a commercial break here. Thank you, gentlemen. You're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Don't touch that dial. You're going to need to hear everything we're saying. We need to hear what you have to say. We'll be right back.
And you cannot afford to lose your way. You come too far from where you started.
The new 1010 WOLB with talk in the day and soul at night.
Are you an employee of a company or government agency and you're facing foreclosure of your home? Wondering if you can file bankruptcy and get a fresh start without endangering your job? Cerroti and Associates understands that bad things can happen to good people and they want to give you answers. Call 410-999-8000 and set up an appointment to meet with Jeff Cerroti himself to discuss your situation. The fact is that no employer can fire someone for filing bankruptcy. You are also not required to even tell them you are filing. So if your home is at risk of foreclosure, call Jeff Cerroti to stop foreclosure at 410-999-8000. Cerroti and Associates are the bankruptcy specialists. They've been helping Marylanders get out from under their mounting bills for over 25 years, and they can help you. Call 410-999-8000 or visit freshstartlaw.com to get your fresh start. Convenient to the Beltway with free parking. Call Cerroti and Associates today at 410-999-8000. We are a debt relief agency helping people file bankruptcy under the Bankruptcy Code.
Now pairing Jack's device to Bluetooth speaker. Now pairing Jack's device to Bluetooth speaker.
Whoa, sick Ravens speaker. Where'd you get that?
M&T Bank. You get a limited edition Ravens Bluetooth speaker when you open a new checking account.
Now pairing Ryan to M&T Bank.
Wait, any account?
Yep. And you can choose the account that works best for you.
Now pairing Ryan to no overdraft fees.
Awesome.
You can even get the exclusive Ravens debit card.
Now pairing Ryan to Ravens debit card.
That's right. Get the exclusive Ravens debit card in the design of your choice when you open any new personal checking account at M&T Bank. Just choose the account that best fits your needs. And right now, you'll also receive a limited edition Ravens Bluetooth speaker.
Now pairing you to M&T Bank.
Rush to any M&T Bank branch or visit mtb.com/Ravens today. M&T Bank, the official bank of your Baltimore Ravens. Offer subject to change and restrictions may apply. No overdraft fee is available with My Way Banking only. Ravens Bluetooth speaker available while supplies last in Baltimore area M&T Bank branches. Member FDIC.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear on 1010 WOLB
are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
It's done unto you as you believe.
Welcome back. We only got 30. Well, since it's 12:34, the time does fly. Mo, you're listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Thank you for calling. Do you have a question or comment, sir?
Yes, I have a comment piggybacking on what y'all was talking about. For one,
on Elijah or elected offices, which particular subject, sir?
Elected offices and Elijah's kind of
okay. Term limits, yes, go ahead.
They're basically like the voting, as long as we not voting, there's no point in even having these conversations. I mean, like me personally, I used to vote, but I done gave up, man. I'm being honest. And in our local community, it's only maybe 1,200 people voting for city issues. And then you have the main so-called elite ones. Out of that 1,200, they might have 600 to 700 votes. So it's like everybody else not voting. It's just like you just keep wasting your time. And
you're right. You're staying in the same place because you don't vote, no?
That's what it feel like to me.
It does, but you said you can't get it up. How old are you? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 35.
You have children?
Yeah, I got a daughter.
Oh man, you got to vote for her. You got this the future. If we all give up vote, man, they will have us back in the cotton fields or tobacco fields or wherever you want to, wherever they want to put us. You have to vote, and you have to get your daughter to realize that it's the only power, the only weapon we have. Even though they're individual bullets, we have to do them. And I want to encourage you to reconsider your position, because that's how they're getting away with this stuff. That's why we stay in the same position that we're in, because we don't vote in large enough numbers, and we're the majority. I believe what's his name said there are 450,000 black people in this town. Right. So, but just imagine if 200,000 or 300,000 of us vote, we would run this city. But I know we keep getting these jerks in here who should get in there switching bait. I can understand your apathy, sir. I can understand it. Please, I'm not even putting you down for it. I just want to encourage you to vote.
And one quick other thing, as far as the homeowner thing, it's almost like the same thing with voting. It's easy to say buy a home, but where do you start at? If you working every day, even if you're not like on welfare, if you just working a middle class job, making $15 an hour or whatever.
That's good money. Go ahead.
It's not that simple to just get a home.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In Baltimore, they have these deals where you get first-time home buyers. Man, you can almost get into a house with nothing down.
Sometimes $15,000 being given to you.
Yeah, they'll give you money to do it. So,
can y'all please put that out there on the radio?
We sure will.
And if you listen to WOLB, George Mitchell offers a home ownership program right now.
Yeah, it's easy for you to buy a house with no money. They'll give you the down payment. Now, what you're going to have to do is go to 2 weeks of orientation of what it means to own a property. And once you get through that, man, they do the paperwork, and you roll it.
So who is the number? Where the number I call? I need this information.
I know that's right. But you got to promise me if we give it to you, you're going to vote. No, I'm just kidding. That's a quid pro quo that I think is necessary. But we're going to look this up for you, and we're going to
Here's my suggestion to him.
Okay.
As I would suggest to anyone in Baltimore City, you need to get involved actively with your neighborhood association because that information can be readily given to you at each community meeting. Most communities meet at least 10 times a year.
One question.
Definitely go to your neighborhood association meeting.
Yeah, sir. Believe it or not, they might not see them, but there are some there, especially if you're in an old community.
Some communities they are. What community are you
I'm in the Pennsylvania Avenue, Sandtown area.
That's Doc's area.
You have Doc, you have Penn North. I mean, there's several.
Annie Hall is your president. Annie Hall is the president for the Penn North area. She's a very active president. Definitely go to her. If not, you can go to Druid Heights Community Development, which is on Drew Hill Avenue. Their whole coalition is dealing with housing. So go to either Drew Hill Avenue.
You got a number for him? Just go ahead. Mo, you hang on the line. Lock him in there for a minute, and then we're going to go on to other stuff. But listen, no, you can buy, man, they're giving away houses here. You just got to do a 2-week orientation. I've been trying to tell people there was a house that sold across the street from me 2 years ago for $84,000, 5 bedrooms and 3 baths. And I told all my friends about it. Do you know none of them went even looked at that house? You know how much that house is worth now? That was 3 years ago. That house is worth $350,000.
And I'm telling you, like, George has been in here a few times, and I've told him, well, I have a few things I want to get straightened out with my credit first, and I just co-signed a car for my daughter. He said, man, don't worry about credit. Credit's not an issue.
That's right.
He said, just attend the program. And 443-759 8921.
Do it again.
That's 443-759 8921. That's to the Langston Hughes Community Business and Resource Center. And they hold, I think, several times a week, they hold a real estate program up there to get you into a home.
Let me give a better number. Let me give you a better number. Druid Heights Community Development Corporation, address 2140 McCullough Street. Phone number 410-523-1350. Here it is again, 410-523-1350. That is the Druid Heights Community Development Corporation. Right now, there's not many better that deal with housing and how to acquire housing than that. Anthony Presley is the executive director. Please contact him.
Yes.
Okay, thank y'all so much.
Mo, thank you for listening and thank you for calling in. See there, that's what happens when we come together and work together. Right. God bless you, my brother, and we wish you the best. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Here we're going to go to okay. You good? Okay, we can drop him, and we're going to go to Dwight. Dwight, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment, sir?
Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Doc. How you doing?
Good morning.
We're good. Good morning. Good afternoon.
I'm in that home buyers class with George Mitchell, and I have the address 5011 Arbutus Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland 21215. Office number is 443-759-8921, and you ask for Keisha.
Okay. Wow, thank you. See this is what community does. This is what community does. And if y'all not listening to George Mitchell every day, he's on every day now, 5 days a week. And I highly recommend his show to you.
And there's also other resources that they can get, find out from Keisha. He's giving away furniture. They have food pantry. They have Fridays you can buy food for $1 or $2
for bags of food.
Job training for those in reentry. Just coming home.
Wow, this is great. All right, thank you, Dwight.
A lot of stuff coming on, so if anybody want to know anything about resources, they can just ask Keisha what do they have to offer.
All right, we'll do. That is great news. Thank you for sharing. All right, listen, we got 15 more minutes. Richard?
Yes?
Open the door. You said there's something that pissed you off or picked you off. What was you talking about when we first came on? What do you want ready to rant about?
Well, I'm looking at the way that this city is headed. And you touched upon it. You have the Pataracases have now made their allegiances known.
It's his scion, it's his children that are making it known,
It's his
right?
children, but it's still that whole family.
Okay.
It's that whole family that runs Harbor East.
Okay.
I'm now looking at where are the Under Armours? Who are they now going to be supporting? Because you got to look at the dominoes beginning to fall. The body politic, the lifeblood of the body politic is money.
Yes, sir.
Very few, and this community is very anemic when it comes to contributing to political campaigns.
Yes.
Our community is very anemic. We don't contribute. So where do they go? They go for the people who will donate the most to them. And for any politician who says he's unbought or unbossed, they are all bought, not unless they finance their own campaign.
True.
It'll ultimately become at some point in time a quid pro quo situation.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
That's so true.
So what's the solution?
What's the solution? Yeah, come quickly.
And we as citizens are going to get caught right in the middle.
Yeah, we know, Richard. What do you suggest we do?
That's why I'm kind of pensive today, because I'm becoming afraid of the status quo getting an even stronger foothold, and nothing will change. And this will be like the old Greek thing of Sisyphus rolling that boulder up the hill until it gets to the top, then it rolls back down, and we got to try to roll it back up and up that hill again, and nothing's going to go forward. Everything will remain the same. Unless we get people in there who really know what the heck they want to do, how to do it, and deal with it.
Do you see any of those people running for the mayor?
No.
Not one? No, not one?
One.
And city council?
Even less.
Wow. Well, that ain't too bright of a hopeful thing, Richard. That's pretty dire.
Yeah, Richard, you just have shut everything down.
Wow. Is that the way you feeling today, buddy?
That's the way I feel.
Oh, bless
kind of melancholy.
Melancholy. I'm gonna go over and lay hands on him. He needs it.
Give us at least one or two steps that we should take or could be taken.
Got any ideas, Richard?
I always have ideas, but right now I'm fleshing them all out now.
Next week he's gonna come with some ideas. I promise you. If we was on every day, and he's gonna call me every day, and he's gonna say, "What if?" This is what I love about him. This is gonna get him. We want him in this position because he's gonna come out fighting. You hear him, Richard Terry up. He's gonna come out fighting, and this is what we need to hear. But the one thing that is disappointing me was we were trying to put together a league of people, different leaders around the city, to come together so we could give a report card on the people, and that has just fizzled out. The partners problems with who's the leader, whose leadership is supposed to be, and who's going to be the spokesman, who's going to do this. Typical Baltimore. I hate to say it. And so nothing is. We started out doing real good. Now there are no meetings at all. I went to other meetings to try to prompt others and was rebuffed. Because I did it, but sitting there, same stuff over and over and over, and nothing gets done. So, Richard, I hear you, my brother, but I want you to be encouraged.
But that's part of the problem. That is part of the problem.
Yes, Wally.
Pat.
Yes.
Pat, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Pat, how are you today?
I'm blessed. Who is this?
This is Willie.
Yes.
Infamous Willie.
Infamous Willie. What are you infamous for? Infamous is not a good word. What did you kill?
I know, but that's how they brand me, Pat, on 1010.
Okay.
Pat, last week, I gave accolades to the coach on the early show because he's the only one on 1010, on that show, that holds the politicians' feet to the fire.
Yes, he does.
And the power broker, the next day I called the show, the next morning, I was told I was suspended until further notice.
Really? Well, that's their show. They can dictate.
But see, it just goes to show you, this tells you exactly what you're saying about our community, about Baltimore. They got a click, man. You can't break through that click. They got this thing. They got this thing locked, stock, and bro. They got it locked down. This political thing. When are you going to say something about these politicians? Well, I'm going to call names. I've never heard the names called. The power broker who thinks he's a power broker. This is how they do things in Baltimore.
Who do you consider these people to be? Call their names.
Well, but as far as the power brokers concerned,
yeah.
Well, he thinks he's a power broker, Larry Young. Yeah, he thinks he's a power broker in Baltimore, you know?
Well, hold on now. I know Larry Young, and Larry Young has a long history of being in power. And for a lot of people, you know one thing about
being in office.
Okay, I know. Yes, by being in office. But you must remember that you can't give yourself prestige. Other people give you prestige. So if people perceive him to be that way, then that's who they give that to him.
And I think that's a perception and a terrible perception.
Like the coach said, we have numerous mayors that have only served one term because in D.C. we don't play with them. We don't play with them. But in Baltimore, I mean, you know, the state can owe us, HBCU's $2 billion, and we ready to accept $250 million over 10 years. $250 million over 10 years. Cheryl Glenn.
Yeah,
and the next thing I know, they're pumping Cheryl Glenn up. She comes on the show, oh, good morning, good lady. Well, she should have her feet held to the fire like the coach does.
I agree with you on her.
So Willie,
I commend you for for holding these people's feet to the fire. The next day, hey, because he knew I was talking about him. He don't hold his feet to the fire.
So Willie, I keep saying this and I keep trying to explain to the community. So a customized show has that authority. Larry Young is an employee of Urban One. And he has a different news integrity that he has to handle. So he's going to be cordial. He's going to be, in many cases, unbiased. He's not going to be controversial, and it's not going to be shock radio.
It's not being controversial. It's about being honest.
So again, listen to me. I'm telling you that he is about getting the news and information out. So for somebody to be able to call in and share the information and share the news is grateful enough. You realize because
when you the station doesn't pump these politicians up.
Definitely not our show. And you know how many people won't come on our show because of that?
Like Cheryl Glenn, and he calls her a good lady, a good morning, good lady, and
it's just being respectful.
But not only that, he has a long relationship.
Right, and a long relationship with her.
Doc, hold up, Willie. Listen, let Doc get in. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, go ahead.
I understand the healthiness of this discussion, but I find it very inappropriate for us to be on a WLB station for us to be talking about another show. I think this is not the appropriate time to do this.
Well, I tell you what, I understand your feelings there, but this is America, and the only way we solve problems is doctor can't heal you till he first give you a prognosis of what's wrong, and we're trying to work out what's going on. This gentleman feels like he's not being given the proper term to speak on the radio and voice his opinion, and I think that's America, and I think that he's entitled to that, but at the same time, the appropriateness of it happening, that's why
I think the more appropriate thing would be for him to call the manager, the general manager of the show, and
of the station.
I don't think so.
Rather than us using our airtime, call directly to the general manager.
All right, well, Willie, I think he's right. We can't, we can't debate. I'm going to look at the autonomy that we all have, and as Jason has said, because Larry is an employee, we're not employees, so we have a little more freedom, to say things, and so I'm going to go with that, and
his relationships that he's developed with a lot of these politicians and people in the community over years.
Right. It must be taken into consideration.
Correct.
I feel. Sam, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment, sir?
Just a quick comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my comment was that I listened to the show, and it appears to me that everyone seems to be afraid. And the reason why I say it because Cummins, he was his voice was inferior to Donald Trump. I was saying his voice, the way he carried it, I think it kind of belittled Donald Trump. And not only just that, just like I say, it seems that people is afraid. You know, I go down to the mayor, to our activists.
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Afraid of what?
They are afraid to step out to say the correct things, to get things right. You know, and I know it might sound like that's an open thing to say, but it's something that someone is afraid to do. I really can't put it in words and everything, but listen to everything from the mayor to everything else. It's similar if someone is afraid to step out there to say the right things to get it done. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you. I think I understand what he's saying. He's saying that people are apprehensive to tell the truth or to be just straight beholding to no one and speak the truth of what is right and what is wrong. Do you think, did anybody else get that impression?
I don't know what he was
saying. Oh, okay, I'll move it right along.
I think I got a little bit of it like that as well.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Theodore?
To a certain degree, sometimes that does happen around. That does happen.
Yes.
People really don't want to say what they sometimes feel because they are kind of reticent and they are very skeptical about possible retaliatory action being taken against them.
Like people not coming on their show, like we can't get some people to come on our show.
Right, because people consider us to be more of the lion's den, which again, we have a different standard. We're not employees of Radio 1 as far as our show is concerned.
But I think I heard him use the term correct. And correct is in the eye of the beholder, as far as I'm concerned. So
correct. Right and wrong is
right and wrong. I understand that, but he was saying, they're not saying the correct things, and I don't know what the correct things are.
Theodore, welcome to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Do you have a question or comment?
Well, first, I'd like to say you have probably the most interesting program on the station.
Well, thank you.
And, I'd like to, in reference to the last caller, also say I call the Federal Trade Commission. Not is it the Federal Trade Commission or the one that takes care of radio?
That's the FCC, Federal Communications Commission.
Yes, FCC. And they sent me a letter. They said because I could call some of the other two stations, CBM and the white right nationalist stations, CBM and BAL, and even on BAL the fake independent down there was a member of the Mitchell family. They won't let me on because they don't like controversy, and they don't like people, if you've got some facts in front of you, to tell them that they're wrong. So I asked the FCC, I say, well, don't they have an obligation when they invite people to call? He said, no, they have no obligation at all to allow you to talk on their station. And that's every station. Even you, Mr. Henderson, you could say to me, Mr. Theodore, I don't think that language is so. I'm going to suspend you for, or I'm not going to let you talk in this station.
Blackball, you're right, okay.
And it's a rights thing. And I'd like to also tell the other brother, he should not spend his money going to see the new picture about Harriet Tubman.
Why?
Because if he spends his money, he'll be a hypocrite. I don't care if you a snitch that back in the day, because if I'd been whipped, who knows? But we stand on the shoulders of those who took it and had to take it for us to get here.
Yes, sir.
If every one of us had uprose and killed the people, this would have been like they wanted it to be, a totally white country.
Yes, yeah, it'd been a massacre.
All of those who came before me. Less respect for some than others. At the same time, we can speak on 2020. I would have done this. I would have done that.
Yes, sir.
We don't know the pressure they were under. Some of the pressure we know. Some of the pressure that they were under. So if you're going to not vote, then what you need to do is burn your Black history books. Don't read the newspaper, and just live, because it's disrespectful for us to not vote.
Yes,
and
sir.
one more thing I like to say.
Come quickly.
I like to not condemn, but I tell black people to remember the ones who think about wavering and voting for that devil in the White House. He's the one that said, I don't want somebody like that on the $20 bill talking about her. So they disrespect your heroes. They will not come together with you like they should. It's unfortunate. You have to love them as Christians, but you better pray for them, because they do some rotten, dastardly things.
Yes,
and
they
for
do.
the salvation of this country, and for the saving of this country, with God's help, vote against that man, because he is a he is a dictator in waiting.
He is the Antichrist in personified. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much, Theodore. Bless you, man. I appreciate that. And I hope all of you that were listening that are having problems with other shows realize that they have the authority to not let you speak on their shows. I mean, look at what's going on with Facebook right now. What's his name? Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg is deciding whether he's going to let Trump put lies on
Well, he's
Facebook.
decided that he's going to.
That he's going to do it. But if you put something on there that they're about the police or something, you get put in jail for 30 days. And it is true, a proven fact. So you're right. We're entering a really
or let you be somebody like Farrakhan.
Yeah, exactly. And you won't get on there at all.
I can't understand why the president still has a Twitter account at all.
I can't either. But we were going to talk about right quickly here the cameras, and we only got 3 minutes, Jimmy. So let's spill your bill. We're looking at Amendment 4, protection against illegal search and seizure.
Yes, my view is that the surveillance camera. I know I'm going to get flack, but my view is that the surveillance camera is not a good idea at this point. We don't know enough about it.
I'll be waiting for you outside.
Well, I know. We don't know enough about it. I don't know how Marilyn Mosby takes a case based on the surveillance camera to court and wins. I don't like anything. I don't like somebody to come and tell me it's free. Because ain't nothing free. So,
what do you think about the downtown godfathers, the invisible hand I call them, telling the police commissioner to put them in as though they work for him? Am I confused here? What is with that? The people that told the mayor that he needed to do something about these squeegee boys because they were hurting their business. It's the same people that are telling the commissioner that he needs to let those cameras in, or to let them, not need to let them in. What are you saying?
Talking about the Baltimore Greater Committee.
Yeah,
the Baltimore Committee and the Downtown Partnership.
Yeah.
Well, please check out a website that is now. We're actually putting up every article we can find on the aerial surveillance. It's www.mhcdc.net. mhcdc.net. Click on aerial surveillance, and we're trying to put up on our community website as many different articles that we can on this issue. We think for the most part, and I think everyone says it, they don't have enough information. We're going to try to share it. I will say this. Jason, keep up the great information you're giving out. It's appreciated.
And I want y'all to go.
I got work on Jimmy.
Yes, y'all got. But I want y'all to go read the 4th Amendment to the Constitution, and then you'll understand why Jimmy is saying what he's saying.
I got a purple nurple for you.
Purple nurple. You've been listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People on WOLB 1010 Baltimore. Say bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Say bye, Richard. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc, for joining us. We love you all. Please join us next Sunday at 3:30 on Spirit 1400, and every Monday here at 11:30 here. Say bye, Jason.
Love y'all, family.
We love y'all too. You've been listening to Patrick Henderson's Meet the People. Have a great and blessed week. And remember, love is not love until you give it away. God bless. Bye-bye.
Things that you later regret, wishing you never had, once you realize.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore. Brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. Join us for the First Lady Tea Luncheon on Saturday, October 26th at Martin's West for the 3rd annual First Ladies Tea. Marette Brown Clark will be hosting an amazing afternoon of food, fun, and inspiration as we honor the fabulous First Ladies of Baltimore. Go to PraiseBaltimore.com right now to purchase your tickets to the First Ladies Tea Luncheon, sponsored by March Funeral Homes, honoring lives, celebrating memories.
Did you miss breakfast with the Larry Young Morning Show? We got you. Lunch with Labor every Tuesday, 12 until 1 o'clock on WOLB 1010 AM.